Okay, why don't we go ahead and call the hearing to order at 6 o'clock. This hearing is to consider a conditional use application regarding the proposed improvements at 67 Mills Street, Cavendish. The property is located in the floodway fringe as described in the Cavendish flood hazard regulations. The proposal is for the construction of two 12-foot 3-inch by 22-foot 3-inch A-frame structures, each containing town sewer and water connections, with floor plans showing a bathroom and kitchenette in both structures. Currently, there exist two unpermitted platforms. The hearing warnings were sent out in accordance with state law. So anybody who wants to speak, I need to swear you in. So if you would raise your right hand. Okay. All right. Anybody on Zoom?
No.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear to affirm that the responses given and statements made in this hearing before the board will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. So the way we're going to structure the hearing is we'll have the appellants present the project, and then the planning commission will have any questions or comments, and then members of the public then can ask questions, comments. So you guys are the appellants. Okay, I'll turn the floor over to you and you can have at it.
Okay. Well, I'm Adam Sebastion, Sandra Batone. We bought the property back in 22, I believe, and then unfortunately with that flood that happened in 23, we had to switch gears into what we were going to try to do there to make it less impact based on being in a floodway fringe. We've worked closely obviously with the town since this stands and the state throughout this whole process, and have structured this application to align directly with the state's written determination that's everyone has already, I know, received. The proposal focuses on improving a previously flood impacted property using compliant flood resistant methods while maintaining a reduced intensity of use compared to the prior residential structure. We have submitted all supporting documentation and in advance and happy to answer questions that anyone may have.
Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Not at this point.
Okay, so you're calling this a non-residential accessory structure?
Yeah, based on the state framework that they gave as responses, yes, non-residential.
Did they define that? Is that a definition?
Yeah, because basically we're no longer having a primary structure in use, so it's less impact to what was there previously.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's two of them.
Right.
Yeah, so
you have A and B. How do they differ from each other?
They really do not differ as long as they were in the same exact location and footings that were there,
Yeah.
but they were just reinforced. That's why I went with items that were going to be within flood or even above FEMA code. That's why we did those.
Are you trying to say that one is going to be a replacement for the derelict trailer, and the other one is now an accessory dwelling? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, actually, we're just saying they're both basically the same where the dwelling used to reside, but they're both non-residential.
Are these intended to be lived in?
No.
Okay, this is where I kind of get off in the weeds a little bit.
That's okay.
Why would you put a full bath and a kitchen in a structure that you weren't going to spend the night in?
Well, we took out the form of it. There's no kitchen. There's just literally two cabinets and then the bathroom. And the main reason for the bathroom is even if we were going to be down there all day, we would like to use the restroom. Then the reason there's two, there's one for him, one for me. That's the main reason. On top of it being, less impactful to the area. We also reduced the size of square footage by doing this as well. From the old trailer, I believe was 720 square feet. We went down to 528 square feet. between both structures as well, 27%. So again, keeping everything in mind with the floodway.
Mhm. You're looking at the FEMA definition for a non-residential accessory structures. It specifically says that it prohibits human habitation. And they're mainly for garages, sheds. I see your plans, it's labeled kitchenette and there's a bathroom.
Yeah, the reason we want to have a bathroom, as noted, is if we were having down there all day and we want to use the bathroom, like I mentioned, it's public city and sewer that were already there. We're working with exactly what was already there. We didn't move areas, and again, all the things we've done is to try to be above and beyond FEMA standards and being very congruent with what the state responded with. So.
You may very well use it as that, but if you sell it, somebody could be living there.
No, because these are removable. That's the whole caveat to this. We would anchor them in, as we noted in our plans, whatever the board would decide on that standpoint, but these would actually be fully movable. Like, these could go on a trailer if needed too. So if we ever intended to sell the property, I more than likely would want to take these because they're nice.
The structures are preformed, they're being delivered. So they're getting slid onto the platforms so they can always be slid off.
Can I ask you why you didn't come to us before, why you started construction before getting a permit?
I honestly wasn't as informed about the zoning regulations here, being with the flood zone, and then when I kind of honestly started talking with Paul after the fact, we're trying to do things the right way with everyone, and that's why after the fact we did it. Not trying to, we're right down the road here, and we're taxpayers in town and want to be community members. So again, there was nothing.
And we also weren't pouring foundations or anything like that. We were trying to be above board.
Is this something where you might bring an RV to use the property and then the bathrooms, or as an accessory bathroom or something?
Maybe, but we're trying to, again, that's why when we had the first initial meeting going, again, the state's response, that's why we're really trying to work with the guidelines, whatever the state came back with, to help with that determination. And we understand there might be stipulations to that upon any approvals that we're willing to work with. So right now we don't have any intention of an RV, because I feel like if something were to happen, that would actually be more of a problem if a flood did happen, being on the ground.
An RV would have to be a vehicle that could be pulled off at any moment.
Yes.
It's not stuck there forever.
Yeah,
right.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, yes.
Okay.
But yes, and that's why same with these A-frames, they would be structured onto those platforms, but then they could just be removed the same way, even out of the floodway if needed.
I can attest, RVs float.
Yes,
So
you can.
We see a lot of them all over the
Yeah.
place. I'm very sympathetic. You purchased the property prior to the flood, correct, in
Yes.
23 with
Yes.
plans
Correct.
that had nothing to do with everything that was put in place after the flood. Okay, and you're my neighbor as well. I don't know if you knew that, but
No.
yeah, I
Nice
live
to
right
meet
up the road from you. When I read the state's determination, there is an opportunity here for you to have a residential structure there based on their language in their determination. If I was you, I would, and we could do this again. I don't know if that's worthwhile, but the way your application is now, correct me if I'm wrong, is for 2 accessory structures, not a residential and an accessory. If I was you, I would want to spend the night there, personally.
Right.
Yes.
I just want to clarify that the newest application isn't for an accessory structure. It's for alterations, improvements, repairs to an existing.
Okay.
The previous one was accessory structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that in what I picked up?
regarding
I
the
just have
trailer.
the flood, yeah, I
Yeah.
just have the flood permit, okay,
I think it shows.
my
the whole footprint.
apologies.
But
You have that?
the other points are exactly correct.
Yeah,
So there is not an opportunity
but the
for
application.
a residential structure on any of the property?
No, there is.
There is.
Yeah,
The, if you don't mind me
Please.
speaking, I
Absolutely.
think the biggest confusion and sticking point is 2 structures versus 1. And that's just the way the regulations are written and approved, is you can replace the 1 structure that was there, but we're doing, replacing 1 structure with 2. And I think that is, even in the state's determination letter, was some of their issue on that. Even, and I mean, I understand the square footage is going down as well, which all makes sense. It's just 1 versus 2. Just, that's, and there's nothing that says it can't be a full residential building if you did that.
Not on that particular spot, or yes, on that particular spot?
On that, the same footprint as what was there before, because they've already elevated it with the certificate above the 100-year flood. It's already up there with those platforms. So yes, a structure could go there.
So can I ask the question, Rick, just to say it in layman's terms, if this permit came back across to us in the form of 1 building and they were hooked together, it would be allowable structure?
If it's 1 building, I mean, that's, not
2
mine.
foundations?
Because I don't think there's anybody in this room that doesn't want them to succeed at what they're trying to do.
Right.
It just has to be in the permit correctly, meeting the state's requirement.
And I do want to say, the reason that we have to be so sticky with these, especially with the state, is there is a chance that the town gets kicked out of the National Flood Insurance Program if we don't go by these. That being said, I mean, we take a lot of weight, and the board, I'm assuming, takes a lot of weight in what the state recommends, but they are the town of Cavendish regulations as well, so.
That's right.
Just to figure this out, help you guys, Rick, if 1 structure was the primary residence, or, could the second one be considered the accessory? Ish. I'm just throwing that out there.
If I could speak on that, I mean, we want to work together, so we're totally okay too, because it was planned, the city water and sewer is directly under the first structure, which would technically be the primary. We don't have to do a bathroom in the other one, as long as we have at least 1 there. I think that would be sufficient for us. So if that could be, aligned some way with a stipulation where the one closest to the garage is the primary and the other one is no bathroom and just accessory to that, I mean, we're totally okay with that. We were going to connect it underground, so it would be technically connected, adjointed, but we're okay to work in that direction if that's something that's
So the
aligned.
2 units itself at no point are connected together.
They would only be connected if they were the water sewer connecting them
Okay.
from underground coming up.
On the same platform.
No, still separate
Underground.
platforms, but we could technically continue the platform and make it where it's just 1 platform with the structures on there and still connected underneath with both.
The roof.
Yeah, that's the other reason. So again, there were some other things we designed it wise. So because the roofs literally are going to be resting on the platform, so we have enough slide off with all the snow. So thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, we kind of designed it this way so we had enough room in between 2 for snow fall off and whatnot. We're trying to take all that into consideration as well.
How much space is there between the 2 platforms?
I believe based on the site plan, it's about, I calculated too, I wanna say it's 22 feet possibly,
Between the two.
between the two, because the A-frames will abut straight onto the platform directly. There's gonna be no overhang or extra space. We calculated it directly with the techno posts. So they'll be very firm, solid, nothing's going anywhere. And that's the same thing with FEMA. We were only supposed to go up 1.5 feet, we actually went up 3 feet. So we were trying to take every item into considerations. Similar with the electrical, we went in and got rid of the electrical overhead to make it safer, and we just gave you the final sign off. Now we have both meters there, one for the garage, and the one other meter that they approved is for the 2 other units as one primary electrical unit. So that's all now underground safely.
So those kinds of structures are usually sized for a certain amount of weight.
Yep.
If you were to make it taller, would that make it too much of a difference in the base?
These, the way they are, when we sent them in, like, they're just literally a small A-frame. So even though it even says like 237, the walkability in there is actually less. Because you're literally coming from the floor and it just goes like a triangle. Like, they look beautiful, but they're made just kind of more for like a solo person or whatnot.
I was just thinking about your roof slope and maybe if you could reconfigure, but that's just, I'm talking.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Or trying to think.
Yeah, because both of these have a dormer on both sides, one for like a little sitting area, one for where the bathroom would be. So they were custom to be dormered out a little bit to be able to fit it. Otherwise, you really wouldn't. You'd open the door and walk into a bathroom or whatever. So, yeah, we try to take all those items directly into thought process in the design and also with the land and the community. Like, everything we try to think about is mainly about FEMA and those items that we brought up.
Is there anything else?
No.
No. Anybody else?
Would you be amenable to making changes?
Yes, that's why we were stating if there's small changes that we could alter to make it work with the board's decision and congruent with what the state has gone through with us, we're definitely open to that.
Okay, well, we can do 2 things. Someone could make a motion to approve, which doesn't mean we vote to approve it. It's a vote to approve or disapprove. Or we can go into executive session and discuss it.
Well, how about if they backpedal and say that they want to have a primary and an accessory dwelling and go forward that way, say.
They could, if one of them, if they were connected, if it was one structure with a bathroom and kitchenette, it'd be, that'd be acceptable.
Kind of hard to tie the two A-frames together.
The fact that there's,
the valley right in the middle.
How about a walkway?
Have to do a
Nice.
pretty
Like
size-
a
yeah,
little
you
bed,
could even do a deck off the
a
backside.
deck.
Nobody
The
says it's
deck
gonna
would
be
perfect.
enclosed.
I just watched a special on that.
You would.
How about a deck connecting the 2 properties?
Off the back side, so it's like a walkway around. Yeah, like, or even in the front side, we could do either one. I
Or
mean,
could the
our
mid-
setbacks are pretty far as well.
Or could the middle be a patio, or does it have to actually?
No. it's gotta be
Yeah,
connected.
it's gotta be connected.
Right.
Because if we do it that way, which would be phenomenal, then we could have like literally the stairs in the middle and both walkways could go like that. And it would look really nice too, because we're also gonna do like just a nice U driveway as well in front. So that would look really nice too. And that would solve that
Right.
fairly easily without us having to go do a lot of extra construction costs. Because I know you brought up having a single residential, it's a lot of money. And this was a lot more cost effective. This still is money, but it's a little bit more cost effective for what we're trying to do. So, because that was a big thing. Like if we went residential, I mean, you're talking 3 to 4 times more than what we're already doing. And we put a lot of our own blood, sweat, and tears into this already. So.
I have a question for Rick. Based on your knowledge, because you've had your head wrapped around this for some time and you've worked with these guys, based on this letter from the from the state of Vermont, what can they do that will still maintain the town's insurance capabilities? Like, what would your guide be towards the board as far as helping them get their project done and
If you
making
tie the
sure?
two buildings together somehow,
Okay,
it's basically one, kind of one building, I mean, you're tying it,
One
Whether it's-
structure, yeah.
like in, however you wanna do it, whether it's a deck, or something like that. We've all seen houses that are not quite separated that much, but, have a deck in between them, or a walkway.
Yeah, they'd have to be physically connected where you could walk between each one.
Yeah, I think
And I-
that's a great idea. We didn't really explore or think about, and because the main thing is we don't want to eat up. When we were doing the first deck, like Paul mentioned, was the snowfall. Because they literally are going to go to the sides. So we even had to make sure we had about 10 feet clearance from the garage, even to that first one, to make sure we had enough pathway for that. And that's why now we have the garage with the front door. The door's actually in the front because there used to be a door in the back. So that kind of alleviated that problem as well.
so the next step would be what? They would resubmit an application for a residential
I don't
structure?
think so,
or what?
I don't think we need to go through all that. I think that decision could be made through a written letter stating that that's what you would have to do. That way, a new application, it just takes so long.
Right. I think it would be good though if we had amended plans, floor plans showing the deck in relation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that something like we would add not just the amended plans, but with the surveyor that I've been working with to have them add that deck, like the length that it'll be and how it'll work with the stairs in the middle,
Yes.
sizing. So I would add that now to the surveillance as well.
Correct.
Okay.
And the floor plans from the barnyard or
Yes.
whoever, yeah.
Okay.
I could amend showing a deck.
Yep.
So,
I can do that.
all right. We have Rick?
To clarify, would the board want to see one of the structures have water and sewer, or are you okay with both? That's,
It's considered all one dwelling, I don't think
Yeah,
it's
my-
that
yeah.
big difference.
right.
That would
Just-
be,
it'd
it
be
would
like
be your
having two bathrooms.
primary,
Yeah.
it would be considered one primary, and then your accessory would be your
Yes.
garage.
And like we said, we're willing to work, but that is a lot more convenient, especially if he has one, I have the other. And the bathroom's literally going to be like a sliver. It's literally just it's going to be
It's a small.
It's small, yeah. So it's literally just for like basic needs, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I move we go to the executive session.
Do we need to?
I don't think we need to. I think
Oh,
we
yeah.
just need to get a
Okay.
plan,
Just do it.
put in saying it's connected together and this is what's gonna look like and the dimensions of it. And
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Vote now,
Can we make a motion to approve based on,
discussion.
the documents provided?
You do it.
Or,
Forthcoming.
forthcoming?
yes.
Well, they're going to come back with a plan showing the
And
deck.
that'll be next month at our next meeting?
Yeah,
or
we're gonna go ahead
whatever.
and, and approve their design today.
Okay.
But we just wanna have it for the, not the final plat, but the final file showing how
yes.
it's
Yeah.
going to be done.
Yep.
That's right.
Not to leave anything up in the air as to what we're thinking versus what they might be thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're aligned the same way because, as noted, it's going to be a nice staircase in the middle with this going like this to the two structures. That's going to
so it's
connect,
connected.
including the sewer and water is also going to connect underneath now too. So
Mhm.
there's going to be technically, you don't see it, but two ways they're fully connected as one.
Okay. That sounds
Now you
good.
have a primary and an accessory. That's what you're gonna end up with.
Yeah, the
Right.
primary
Garage
would be
being
the one
accessory.
toward, even though they have a bathroom in each, the primary would be the one next to the garage, would be the primary. 'Cause
No,
that's
that-
where,
And have to note that on the plans. to
Okay,
Make sure
yep.
which structure is being defined as the primary.
okay.
Put
Mhm.
that in.
Yep.
So there's no confusion.
Okay, so do we have a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion to approve this as long as by next meeting. And obviously if it takes longer for plans and drawings and whatnot, but to be able to move forward with this and do as we said, so it shows as one unit.
And so that I would add, like, where the two structures will be connected, and that would be your primary structure.
Mhm. Yes.
So,
So motion to approve with pending final design or final plans?
yes.
Okay.
That as well. Yep. Okay, any other Motion, who seconds the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion is passed. All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing those drawings.
Yeah, I have another question.
Sure.
So I know, well, because the last meeting, I understand we had the cease and desist portion, which I understand, but yeah. But now, what is the next steps? Like, yes, I'm going to get that, but in the meantime, are we allowed to continue work like siding or like I don't even have the garage sided, or we have to wait until these are now fully approved when I submit this?
I don't think the garage has ever been an issue. The
Yeah.
garage is, you
The
can do
garage
whatever
should
you
be-
want to the garage.
Because
My
you
understanding-
mentioned, you mentioned that you were anchoring it and using,
Correct.
gonna use everything.
Yes, correct, and we're using permeable
Yeah.
materials to the floodway as well.
I mean, you should probably get your plans drawn up first before you put the A-frames in.
Yeah.
You know, have that connection all designed. I
Okay.
mean, that's to your guys' benefit.
Yes.
We wanna let them go ahead on the garage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And I can only assume prepping for water and sewer for those to come in as well,
Yes.
because that's gonna be in before you can slide them in, so.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and I already had the plumber that was already tying all that already ready, and then same with like our excavator who's helping because the way these are going to be delivered, I already gave all the dimensions and tonnage over the bridge, which they say they're going to be high enough, but I still have to work with Rick when those are going to be coming in. So we're aligned that we'll have access to do what we need to do, but it should be pretty streamlined. But thank you very much. We're really excited, and this has been a long process, and it takes an emotional toll. But thanks for guiding us, and working together. I think it's even going to look better than what we originally thought of. So that's
Like I
awesome.
said, I don't think there's a person in this room doesn't wanna see it succeed.
Right.
Awesome.
And on a personal note, I'm really glad you came in person
Yeah,
and not on Zoom.
yeah. It was somebody's.
It really makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
to
Yeah,
see a
I-
face and a person
yeah.
and.
Yeah, I apologize.
So
We
thank
couldn't.
you.
It was a birthday
It's okay.
thing, and
Completely
Yeah.
understand. It's his birthday today.
birthday
Appreciate
today.
it.
Happy
Yes.
birthday!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Where do you want to go out? We'll see you out there. We'll buy you one or
We'll
two
get drinks.
Yeah. So.
So,
Okay, well, we'll close the hearing.
All right.
We've got 2 more minutes before our regular meeting.
Do we need a motion or
Oh, yeah.
anything? We good?
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, we need a
Sometimes
motion.
it's tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make a
sure.
motion to
Cancel the
close.
No, I
hearing.
understand.
I second.
Hearing?
Second.
Okay.
Long
Public
meeting.
discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well.
Yep.
Might as well call the meeting to order.
Do you want the agenda?
Oh, I have it.
Got it.
Thanks. Okay, call it to order. Any adjustments to the agenda? None?
Not for me.
Okay, dear citizens, there's nobody here?
everybody online?
Just one.
What, I'm a citizen,
No.
He is?
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
yeah.
he
Wanna
is.
speak?
but I'm all set.
Okay. Item 5, discuss town plan survey and review changes to draft. So we didn't
Sorry.
have time to do it, which is totally fine.
Okay.
We have a couple years to get this
yeah.
done. It's gonna come up quick.
Next meeting,
That's
I
right.
will have something.
Don't knock yourself
Oh,
out.
no, we did not. We gotta do that. Sorry.
us on order.
Thanks.
Minutes are perfect.
Okay, so Maureen, which,
of recognition. Right?
yeah, all right. So we have, which last month's, is there any discussion on it?
No.
Okay. Need a motion to approve.
I'd make that motion.
I second.
Second, any discussion?
No.
None. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion's passed. Now we'll go to 5. Sorry about that. Discuss town plan survey. Of course, we went over stuff pretty thorough last month. And,
Things we wanted in there, and
Yeah.
I didn't think we really needed.
right. And Maureen, if you have anything to add too. you want to go over it.
And I apologize, I'm still
worries.
getting caught up. So
Yeah.
I will review that. I will watch your meeting on
Mhm.
Okemo TV and from last time that I missed and get caught up. And I also have notes from previous that we discussed. So in this format, I'll try to update it for a final, and and we'll figure out a format, because we've got Survey Monkey, we've got, you know, these other ways now that's not a paper survey anymore.
Right.
So,
Could maybe get more engagement.
and more engagement.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
So somehow we have to incorporate what we pick
Yeah.
from that and then put it into like a survey monkey
Yes.
format.
Yes,
Okay. And also, well, we talked about having it, copies here for people.
yes.
And then once we get it set, we can put it out there.
And would we do a postcard again?
I think
Format
so.
with a QR code or
Yeah.
something like that?
Everything, anything to get it out. Yeah.
I mean, that would, you know, everybody's getting pretty comfortable with technology, so,
Right. We don't have too many
you know,
lights.
what are you laughing at?
Cause he's not.
Same with the other.
I know when he got on to the meeting, it was cause Betty had just got done cutting on the meeting.
He knows how to text, okay, so, yeah. No, I think it'll be good. We'll have a couple different formats
Great.
to present, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, anything else on that? Okay, so we'll go on to item 6, update on Grevin Field restoration. Rick and I were out there this morning,
Oh, good.
kind of going over a game plan. It's pretty sad looking. You know, the green monster's falling apart, but Kelly Stetner and her crew did a good job cleaning up. There's not like a lot of garbage and debris. So, so I think the plan is we're gonna, Rick, you can fill in too.
Has the entrance been repaired yet?
And, well, it was, and now it's kind of out again. Enough. So, no. The first step is we're gonna put something in there just so equipment can get in and out. Not really, we don't want people driving in there yet. But if once it dries out enough to get some equipment, because it's a little soft, it's pretty dry, then we can start working on the green monster and getting that down. We're gonna need to bring in a couple, dumpsters, and hopefully we can do that with our excavator, which I believe we probably can. And then somehow, whether we'll mow the area that's gonna be grass, and we'll get that kind of squared away. And then we can really start working on the entrance and the parkway, because it'll give, somebody a place to actually want to go there. But yeah, we talked a little bit about the entrance, because it just completely washes out all the time. I don't believe right off the bat we can do anything with that ditch that's in that property, just because there's a culvert that feeds that ditch. So I don't know if getting rid of it's the best idea. But that can be secondary. So the entrance, whether or not we have to put in a couple more culverts, or we talked about like a concrete drive swale,
Where it always washes out as you transition.
Yeah.
It's done it since I was a kid.
Yeah, and I don't know how you stop it. I don't think you really do. That concrete swale might work, but there's always gonna be water across it too, so it might not be the best option there either.
Yeah, there was water flowing from the culvert coming under 103, and it's like ponding up behind the Grevin Field entrance, so you kind of don't want that water sitting there.
Yeah, this is gonna be a mosquito haven.
And I know that floodway engineers said, to fill that in, that whole ditch, like raise it up, which would, we'd have to get fill. I mean, I think that's like phase 2 maybe. We have to
Yeah.
plan. That needs to be really thought out. I mean, I almost think we need an engineer, because,
Yeah.
we're talking inches in grade to get that water to
Flow
flow
it
out of there, yeah. So,
out versus in.
yeah,
And the only thing that's really gonna affect that ditch is that drive.
Mhm.
Other than that, I mean, floodwater is gonna take a lot of stuff out, and it's gonna make its own cuts in there. But the drive itself is the only thing really affected by that ditch, which
Mhm.
has been, like you said, forever.
It's done it since I was a kid. Anytime I got heavy rain, there was always a big puddle at the end.
Yeah, and you can't put in a bigger culvert because there's just not enough height maybe you can put in 2 or 3 to get a little bit more water flow through instead of 1. Little stuff like that we might be able to do. I don't think it's the fix-all yet, but we make it a usable space that we just have to put some gravel down on every once in a while. That's better than where we're at.
Or big enough riprap so the water flows through it.
We thought about that too.
Mhm.
Yep.
I did get an email from Kelly about the goats. And she's going to have an estimate. I think she's talking to
She's joining.
Oh, Kelly. Okay. Hello, Kelly. Anyway, I think they're talking like 100 goats.
You scared her off.
She's there, she's,
Oh, no, she's back.
she's finishing her.
I'm
exam.
sorry. I'm eating dinner, so I apologize.
That's fine. Oh, it's good. Good timing.
I'm grazing.
Yeah. Speaking of grazing, yeah, we were just talking about Grevin Field, so it's good timing.
What would you like me to do? Do you want me to read through what I sent you, Tim?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, great. So, thank you very much. So, Kelly Stettner from the record, Black River Action Team. I spent some time this morning on Zoom with a lady named Amy Braxmeyer. She owns Slippery Slope Goats. She's out of Londonderry, and she does commercial grazing of her goats for land clearing. And she's finding more and more people interested in her grazing for invasives management as part of they're not magic goats, she said. It's not the solution to invasive plants, but they are a tool in the toolbox. They are part of the solution. So the plan that she would like, she's in the process of working on an estimate for me. I was hoping to get it by tonight, but that did not happen yet. But the plan is to allow them to graze the property, to allow the parcel to be preliminarily cleared of vegetation, especially the introduced invasive species, without herbicide and without massive amounts of human time and labor. So the co-benefits of this grazing proposal include involving the local elementary students to participate in grade appropriate science projects around the goats and the grazing. A community event in June while the goats are on site for their first grazing to spread the word about the project, familiarize people with the plan, hopefully get them interested and excited in being part of that long-term process of revegetating this as a floodplain. And then watching those goats work. So we're hoping it's like bring your own brown bag lunch to graze with the goats. We're aimed at June 14th as a target date so that we get this started before the kids finish school on June 17th. There's also a potential for a study project with UVM students around floodplains, the efficacy of goat grazing on invasive species, etc. So getting this a little bit more visibility, I could potentially get a UVM intern to come down and help out with this. So there's lots of possibilities that will be coming from this. The plan is for 2 grazings in 2026, and I believe 2 grazings in 2027. The very first, well, we can expect a follow-up from there. Once the grazing is done after 2 years, we're going to be following up with mowing, as you guys will be doing in the field, and then hand cutting / pulling of invasives as we simultaneously plant native shrubs and trees to help shade out and keep down some of the introduced invasives. But you wouldn't, go ahead.
Kelly, will only, like, if they come on the 14th, are they just going to be there for 1 day?
No. So there's the first grazing. I was going to try to get to the work plan here in a second, and I'm hoping that yes, I did. I put that in there.
I didn't
So
get that.
for the first, it's a little further down. I'll get
Okay.
right to that. But just as an orientation, the goats are contained by halo collars, which are they use GPS technology. People use this for their dogs in their yard. It creates a customizable virtual paddock. The goats all wear collars. I think I just said that, halo collars. And the GPS technology, Amy is able to keep an eye on the goats remotely with a camera or several cameras, She's also able to monitor the paddock enclosure on her phone, and she can change it as needed. If the goats are done in an area and they need to shift, she can do that right on her phone and drag them over to the next area. And then their collars will beep and whatnot, and they'll move and shift with her virtual fence, her virtual paddock. She can also include exclusion zones. So if we have, let's say, this size of a parcel, and there's this really beautiful stand of oak tree saplings that we want to protect, she can put a circle around that within the larger paddock and create what's called an exclusion zone, so the goats don't go in there. They get deterred by the collars.
With technology and goats.
No,
Old school and new school all together, right?
Right.
I love it.
Hey, Kelly,
Um,
go ahead, finish your thing, and I'll ask you later.
I've only got, I talk fast. So the plan would be to start in April. There would be a community work day that between all of us, myself, Margot, we would be trying to recruit folks to do a community work day. We would need to clear out any remaining trash. I know there's a big tire in the woods. Anything else that might be harmful to the goats, we want to get that out of there. Also weed whacking a narrow, like 10 to 12 inches wide strip around the perimeter along abutting properties, because they have a physical fence that they can install just to confirm that those goats are not going to infringe on any abutting properties. In case somebody's a little concerned, I don't want these goats breaking loose and coming up into my property, or my dog. She also wants to protect the goats from dogs. If anybody has a dog that might be
Want to eat a goat.
ready to go and play with the goats, yes. So we'll need to make sure that all the abutters know what's happening, know what the gates will be, and agree to keep their dogs on a leash during the grazing period, so that the dog doesn't get hurt, and also the goats don't get threatened and hurt. So that would be in April, the community work day, and then in April or May, hopefully the town will be doing that other work that Tim had mentioned. Around removing the green monster, maybe removing the 2 culverts under that access road, and just improving the gravel swale enough, because Amy has a big trailer that she trailers the goats in on, and she'd like to be able to drive that right into the field and park it in the field. So if that can be done before she gets there, I'm hoping that fits with the town's timeline. And then, so the official start, she would like to start on or a couple days before June 8th. To bring about 100 goats for 10 days, but that was when she was expecting to graze the entire 8.2 acres, the perimeter plus the field, and if the field is going to be brush hogged instead, that's fine. That'll just change her estimate and her time. The part of the reasons for doing the field was so that the goats had a nice variety of foods to eat. It keeps them interested. And not deciding, I'm going to girdle that tree because I have nothing else to chew on. But it also gives the goats a variety in their diet, so they don't have, when she say, an iodine deficiency or something like that they can get from eating just knotweed for a week. Not good for them. So it would give them some variety if they could at least graze part of the field. So if that's something that's feasible, we can discuss that.
I think there was plenty of grass, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Other than where we were going to mow.
Right. Yes.
Amy would be very happy to hop on a call with you guys. She couldn't make it tonight. I did extend the invitation, but she was unable to make it at work. Obviously, short notice on my part. But she'd be very happy to hop on a Zoom call, answering any kinds of questions. And again, she's only in Londonderry. It wouldn't be too big a stretch for her to come and visit and talk with you guys. And then early fall would be the second grazing, focusing more on the perimeter, but maybe some of the field area, just to give them that variety that they might need. I don't think we were planning on having the goats on the river's edge, like right at the edge. It's not a real problem to do that because the goats do not have hooves like cows do. They're very nimble, and they're kind of designed, their specialty is working on steep slopes without crumbling things off and breaking off big chunks of the riverbank. But I'm happy to work with the community on managing knotweed on the riverbank and replacing as much as we can with short willow stakes, dogwood stakes, something that's going to help hold that bank better than the knotweed would. And she will provide a certificate of liability for the parcel. She carries a certificate of insurance of $2 million for commercial liability. She'll provide an estimate for you guys to approve or review and have questions. She will provide the contract to the town. And her general modus operandi is 50% upfront with the remainder upon completion. She does have a typical budget that includes like a per acre charge and a trucking fee. She figured around $450 for trucking for this whole thing. But she is excited by all the partnership potential, by the community coming together, by the school kids getting involved. She's really happy to try to work her budget with what the town is able to come up with. I have not been finding any grants for this at all, but the more we can do this sort of thing, and the more we can provide some scientific backup for why this is effective, we're more likely to find that the state is more willing to come up with some grant money, because it'll be more of a proven technique. So I'll stop for that.
Rick, is the money for this going to come from that FEMA money for reclaiming Grevin Field?
There is no FEMA money for reclaiming.
Thought we had it.
No, well, we have money that came in from personal for use of Grevin Field.
Okay,
So there is money for that.
okay.
But as far as FEMA covered the cleanup, but not the rebuild, because we weren't rebuilding it the same as we had.
Okay,
Do we know what that number might be?
Yeah, Kelly, is there any sort of estimate, like a per acre? 'Cause I mean, that's probably, correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, I mean, the select board. I mean, it sounds great, to do it, but I
Yeah.
mean, the money is gonna be,
Right, the money's gonna be
Yeah.
tightish anyway, like I was mentioning before, needing dumpsters for the Green Monster to come out of there, stuff like that. But I think, I
Could it-
remember, there's 6-ish thousand maybe,
about
In that
six-ish. Mhm.
Okay.
which needs to cover everything.
Right. And
Right.
has she done this before, specifically with knotweed and goats and?
I do believe so. She's been doing this for several years now, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
And she's been
hopefully not the
effective.
knotweed.
It's been effective. The trick with something like knotweed, it comes from the slopes of Mount Fuji in Japan. After a volcanic explosion, this stuff is the first thing up through the lava. So the trick with knotweed is pressure, 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 lots of different ways, whether it's pulling the roots and making sure that they are completely dead, maybe burning them, cut, regularly. You want to exhaust that root system. As most of you know, or I know Rick knows this for sure, in the fall, when all of those flowers are finally done and spent and the bees have had their heyday, that's when the plant starts trying to pull its reserves back into the root to overwinter. And if you can catch it just as the flowers are starting to go by and be finished, and you can just cut, or graze, that's another good knock in the teeth for this plant. But it takes several years. I mean, I know people who've had it growing just in their lawn, and they mow every 2 to 3 weeks. You got to catch all the little bits that you mow. You can't just leave them in a nice habitat for it to regrow. But it takes 3 or 4 years of consistent mowing to really make an impact on it. And there are studies that are showing that glyphosate is starting to not have as big of an impact on knotweed as it used to several years ago. It's starting to get more resistant to it, which isn't too surprising for something that can go through lava. So effectiveness, yes, but it is a tool in the toolbox. And I'm hoping that by having a community day, having a work day, maybe annually there's a work day, or every spring we have a work day in like June or something, and then we come back again and we do something with the school students in the fall to do more cutting. And if we make it more of a regular thing, I think that over time it can really get knocked back pretty hard. And then there's several different plants that put together as a cohort. I keep trying to find my official list, and I'm just recreating it from my own research. But things like black willow, Joe pieweed, a lot of the goldenrods, ferns, you start planting a lot of these things in concert with each other as you're knocking the knotweed back by grazing and cutting and pulling, eventually we can make that knotweed so weak that it's either extremely weak and stays weak, or it does go away over time. And it depends on how many people we can get out there to keep at it. But I think that with enough community involvement, I think we can do it.
Who's organizing the work days? Has that been established?
That's probably going to be me and Margot combined.
Mm-hmm.
She's already like, I got this covered. I'm going to go get a hold of this. I'm going to get started on that. Yeah, and I'm hoping that the Conservation Commission will be able to participate as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be really neat to get the kids out at the same time as the Conservation Commission, so parents maybe get involved, or the kids start growing up thinking, oh, there's a Conservation Commission. I should maybe consider joining that when I get older, and just start feeding these organizations that, as the lead members get older, we need to have more young elbows and knees in there.
I know this question was kind of asked, so do we have any idea how much the goats are gonna cost? Let's say there's no grant and, do we have any idea?
I don't have a number from her at all yet, and I apologize for that. I was just trying to find a time to meet with her, and that was one of the questions that came up. She was gonna give me an estimate today. I told her about the meeting tonight. But it has not materialized in my inbox yet. I know I was working on a similar plan on a smaller parcel in Norwich. That grant also did not come through. I tried a watershed grant through the state of Vermont and they did not fund it. But that one, I can actually pull up the budget really quick if you guys want to talk about something while I'm looking that up. It would be that was a different grazer, so I'm not.
But if there's a per acre sort of average, that might give us an idea.
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
have no idea what it would.
And what's the difference between doing that and obviously the goats would be, an educational thing and
Right.
and great for the town, but a brush hog, like what's the difference? What is the actual difference between having the goats come or just brush hogging the area?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same? Is it different? Do the goats do something different? Is it, I don't know.
I mean, they eat it all. The brush hog you're gonna have,
It's
but
gonna
they're
throw-
also
Get rid of
gonna
it still.
poop
Yeah.
out whatever
They're gonna
seeds
fertilize it.
and
Yeah.
Graven field.
The brush hog, of course, leaves all the seeds too.
Yeah.
of course.
I guess
Luckily,
that's the
where we're
difference,
talking about
right?
brush hogging, there is no knotweed.
Right.
The field area
Right.
that we were talking about, there is none.
So the goats would not be eating the knotweed?
No, goats will.
But it's just the area that we were gonna.
Where this,
Oh, where you're
Prior.
brushing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like
Okay.
all this area, this whole,
Okay.
they wouldn't be necessarily grazing there.
Got
Because
it.
it's-
Just the
because it's just
perimeter.
grass, yeah.
Just the perimeter. Okay.
That's right.
That is some
Interesting.
impressive knotweed.
Okay.
You get down
I
there,
haven't been down
yeah.
there.
8 to 10 feet tall in
Oh, yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
goats-
brush hogging might be very effective on the side of the property that's behind the Green Monster. I guess that's the northern side of it. But my thinking is that the goats will be working that whole perimeter, and I think it's just a matter of, the project in Norwich was gonna be for how many acres? Probably a couple of acres, and it was gonna be over 2 years, 6 total visits, and we were including a 15% contingency, and that was gonna be $6,900. But that was again like 6 visits over the course of a couple of years, and he was trying to bump that up a little bit to cover gas costs and stuff. And Amy is really excited to work with us on what does the town have available. And if it's just a portion, obviously it's just going to be a portion of that 6,000 that's available. We could probably work on some local fundraising as well. So we could get some T-shirts made about the goats and see if people want to buy a T-shirt, and the money goes into the Griffin Field Fund, something along those lines. I think we could probably do some creative fundraising around this as well.
Sell them at the farmer's
But
market.
What was that?
Sell it at the farmer's market.
There we go.
Did we touch
I
on
don't think
how long the goats would be there?
You might
10
even
days.
net a profit like $16. It all helps.
Depending on
Right.
how much they were. How many
Yeah.
acres?
So the perimeter is approximately how many acres are we talking?
But
She's
this
talking
field,
2 acres.
This is about 2 acres, all this grass area.
Okay, but the goats
It's
would not be
8.2
doing that,
acres.
they'd be doing the perimeter.
So this is probably,
6.
yeah, probably 2 in here, 2 over here, over
Okay.
here, probably 6 acres, yeah.
And if the knotweed is all grown up to 10 feet tall,
It won't be,
then
it won't be at that
knock it
point.
down? How does that work?
The knotweed will, if they're gonna come in like on June 14th, that knotweed will be 3 feet tall, don't you think about?
Chewable.
Killing.
Yeah, yeah.
Chewable,
I
yeah.
had asked her about like early May. She said it's not going to be tall enough to really give them something to chew on. But she also overestimated. She's like 10 days at the most, but it's a per acre fee that she usually does. So shoot,
Be like a flock of turkeys coming out of the woods.
I don't have a phone number for her, unfortunately.
Okay, we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah.
I've had goats growing up when we lived up on Atkinson Road. You know, they get into some stuff and die, like choke cherries. They get this reputation as eating everything. They actually have a pretty sensitive system. So I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but
Yeah.
there's poison
Like,
plants
I'm-
out there for that and sheep.
Sure, she'll do a
I
walkthrough.
mentioned, I know there's barberry out there. There's smilax vine growing out there. Some of the area is not very densely vegetated at all. I'm pretty sure there's some honeysuckle. I don't know if they would get into that or not. But let me get with her also on a plant list that maybe the goats should be sure to avoid. What were you saying, chokecherry?
Choke cherries can make them ill and also kill them if they get enough of it.
Okay. All right, let me email her, and if I don't hear from her, obviously sooner rather than later, but if I don't hear from her by, let's say, midday tomorrow, I'll try to find a phone number and see if I can just call and get an answer. And we're thinking, perfect world, it would be the 6 acres, because we're not doing the middle part of the field.
I would, yeah, I mean, I could figure that out.
Yeah, because it says the middle part of the field is 1.8 acres instead of.
Yeah.
Which is 1.8.
Well, that's something to talk about, because in her plan, if she were to take that middle field and not put it as the gross and be give her that as a bonus, that's good forage, and that would be very good for those goats. Ask her about that. The grass, the middle field where the ballpark was.
Right. Like if that would,
Sweeten the pot, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Make it
high-
advantageous.
that's high
for the
protein
goats.
feed right there. You know something about this.
I think she was originally planning that would be part of it, and that would be beneficial to
Okay.
let them have that
To keep them
excess stuff.
healthy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't feed them broom stalks all day.
Yeah.
They need, they have a reputation as, like I said, of eating everything, but they won't necessarily thrive. They need
Yeah.
carbs and protein.
It's not like the old Mickey Mouse cartoons where they're eating tin cans and everything. Okay. So, all right, I'm crafting an email to her now on that, so.
Okay. All right, is there anything else? Kelly, do you have anything else, or?
I think just, I know that, Mr. Terrell has, the water access there. He's got like a hose that's buried, and was used probably to water some of the lawn. I don't know if that's something that's gonna be, I mean, we can just do an exclusion zone around that, you know, coil up the hose and just not let them in there. Hopefully they wouldn't nibble on the hose. But other
That
than
would
that,
be
is there
in the
any
lawn
other
section.
infrastructure in there other than the Green Monster that could, somebody had mentioned a dumpster for the Green Monster.
Yes.
Is that anything that, you know, people with pickup trucks, you know, could we just do that as part of the workday, like have it taken down,
it's-
loaded up into people's pickup trucks and brought to the dump?
I think it's a little dangerous to
Yeah.
take it down with anything other than an excavator.
Yeah, it needs to be broke up.
Yeah.
There's telephone
Okay.
poles in there and stuff. It's large.
And I don't want
Okay.
people climbing on it for sure to take it down.
Yeah, no.
And then
Or
if
maybe
you're
it
gonna
was
take it
just-
down with an excavator, you might as well, you don't wanna load it into a pickup truck either, so. It'll just go straight
big for that.
to a dumpster.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, that's the
It's- it
cleanest
can't-
way.
It can't be burned, it has to leave our town in a dumpster.
Gotcha, okay, yep, you know,
Painting,
you guys do have
pressure treating.
restrictions, okay.
Yep.
That's a good point, okay. Okay, just trying to find other ways around some of the budgeting to see if there's any ways that volunteers can help with this, that, or the other thing, okay.
Well, hopefully hopefully our excavator's big enough where we can do that. The town can do that, so it's just the cost of the dumpsters themselves.
Okay. Okay,
And Kelly, I probably will be sending you an email with our rec director's contact information.
okay, great.
So she can be involved as well.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'd love to make sure that as many people are aware of it as possible and are you know, if they're willing to help, if they're willing to, you know, show up and help pull some knotweed or help plan the community day. I think there's all kinds of good stuff that could happen from it. I don't want it to just be a cute feel-good project and then nobody does anything for 2 years and it's all overgrown again. We don't want lipstick on a pig kind of a project. We want
Right.
something that's actually going to be meaningful and have legs and be something that the community's excited about and proud of and wants to be part of. So,
Agreed. Okay. Well, I guess we're on our way with it, so we'll just wait for
Okay.
the select board to approve that estimate.
yep, I'm going to get that to her with the, in fact, I'll probably craft the email with the points that were made tonight. I'll send that to you, Tim, to make sure that I recorded everything correctly and that I didn't misspeak or forget something. And then I'll pass that on to Amy as she's crafting her estimate.
Okay,
Sound good?
great, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thanks
you.
as
Thank
always.
you, guys.
Yeah, thanks as always, Kelly.
Kelly.
Have a great night.
You too.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, can I put myself on mute and listen in to the rest of the meeting?
Of course.
Please.
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, was that a please about muting? So I don't
No.
blame you.
No, it's
Do whatever you
it's
want.
nice- It's nice to have a citizen.
That's right.
Great. So it'll be, and
audience.
you don't need
You're
to
the
watch
one
me
who
eat my
told me.
sandwich, so it'll be audio off and video off, but happy to listen in.
Thank you.
Allison Clarkson,
No, what about her?
well, we talked about Act 181.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll just have a quick discussion on Act 181, which we had Jason presented a couple months ago. You know, it's about having the 3 different tiers. And the big sticking point, as I'm sure a lot of you know, is the road rule. Say that any road driveway over 800 feet needs to get an Act 250 permit.
Which the statement is that you want to set up a sugar house high up on the hill behind your house. So you think, well, okay, we'll put a driveway in for the tractor and maybe the truck. If it's more than 800 feet, you gotta go through the whole Act 250 process.
That's ridiculous.
And the permit applications are very expensive. Very expensive. And then your property is involved in Act 250 forever. So if you want to build a house,
This is turning out to be very unpopular.
Yes.
There's a lot of people rising in the hills saying you've gone too far on this.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have on that.
But anyway, we're gonna have a hearing on it, I think like a joint select board, planning commission, and we're gonna have a member from the environmental board to present. I guess when they're gonna make changes beforehand.
It sounds like they haven't really finalized what this tier 3 is gonna be, which is the worst. So when I contacted them about doing some sort of presentation and answer questions, they pretty much said, why don't you wait until June-ish? We'll have a better idea of everything and then do it in June or around there. So
Right.
that's why we haven't had one yet. I think a few towns have had them come and speak, but I think it's more important for us for them to figure out that part first before we sit down and chat. But yeah, I think whether it's a planning commission or whether it's a hearing for both, I don't know how we're going to structure it, or select board, how it's going to be.
It's certainly important to have the select board involved and,
It is.
make it so people get the word out there, so.
And that would be somewhere not here because I'm gonna be well attended.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the school, like with the quarry.
Yeah, or the fire station.
The
Fire station's
Remember the
pretty
quarry on 131 about 25 years ago, 20 years ago?
Yeah, they won't. I don't think that they'd come out of the hills, out of the woodwork from Act 181. Do you?
Oh, yes.
You do?
Telling somebody they can't put a driveway into their sugar house or,
Yeah.
Can't build
Yeah.
a sugar house.
what?
Can't build a sugar house.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think you'd get a lot more people than you think you would if they understood what was
Good.
taking
Right.
place.
So,
Half your, yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
There's obviously right now, everything's like tuned up about Act 181 and the tier 3, and I'll be 100% transparent. I hadn't read the whole document. I pulled it up. It's 171 pages long. And you've got everything redacted in all of the communications and the crossouts and everything that they've done. Which, did it pass in 2024? Did it go through?
It's supposed to go into effect July this year.
And then various parts of it are in effect on certain dates, if I understood that,
Yeah, I
correct?
thought it was
Between
like
now
tiered.
between now and 2035.
Yeah,
So phase
so the road rule, does that apply, and you may not answer or know the answer to this, does that apply to all tiers or just tier 3?
I think all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
So the tier 3, I pulled up the map. I don't know, has anybody pulled up the map for Cavendish
It's,
on where the tier 3?
oh,
Not,
there-
yeah, that's not it.
no.
So they're like little bubbles. Have you seen it, Rick? Have you pulled it up?
I glanced at it.
It's goes up Tarbell Hill, Old County Road, I think Chapman Road, and it's all just, it's all the back roads, but it follows the roads. So you see it's got the houses that are already there are circled out, but you can't build a structure, if I understand correctly, you can build it within 50 feet of your house. Any further than that would need a permit.
Because you're in a wetland.
Well,
Is that separate?
And by permit, you're saying Act 250 permit.
yeah, I got it.
They are very difficult
It's
to
not,
fill out.
it's
Well,
not
So
great.
you need a professional. to get it.
And we're stuck with it, we have no option.
Precedence over the local.
Well, unless the legislature overturns.
Okay.
It's
Here we
a
go.
rough battle. It's been this whole. It's been going on for 56
You're
years
exempt
now.
if you're within 50 feet. You're exempt from Act 250 if you're within 50 feet
Of your
of
primary
your house.
Okay.
Yes.
2 truck lengths.
That's
I don't
nothing.
know.
It's not.
If it's under 200 square feet of a new structure, in tier 3 involved land, you're exempt, which, let's say you wanna put your garage 100 feet away. An average garage is what, 500 square feet for a
Yeah.
small garage?
Yeah, 24
So
by
it's like,
24.
you're maybe a sugar house,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, it really just, I don't know. It's
Well-
gonna be a problem.
In the applications, they're like 20 pages long.
Who's
Yeah.
gonna, who's gonna
And just-
enforce this?
And you have to,
250 permit is crazy.
and you have to fill them out online, and you have all sorts of exhibits. You have to have letters from the school, the superintendent, one example saying that it won't impact students. I mean,
Sugar house.
they
Yeah.
need to, if they're gonna do it, they can't do it this way. It's gotta be simplified, and if they do it at all, it's, yeah.
Well, they're trying to force building to be done in village centers.
That's right.
And not daisy chain it all over the back roads.
Which would be great if ours wasn't completely in a flood zone.
Right, we don't have any.
We don't have any,
Any
yeah, there might
development
be a couple
potential.
of pockets, but nothing.
That's
Yeah.
why everything's built in the hills.
Well, instead of putting restrictions, they should incentivize. And that's really what
Yes.
they should be doing. Not restricting everybody.
I think like if you're clearing land, if you're clearing over an acre, you're supposed to, there's like an application you fill out, but it's just, you just send it to the state, basically telling them what you're gonna do. And then they have like best management practices, they give you a brochure, okay, this is what you do for erosion control.
Mhm.
I mean, that's fine.
Oh, incidentally, the old Duttonsville School, Dan Churchill's place,
Mhm.
is on the market. That could be converted into 4 2-bedroom residences
Mm.
easily.
Mhm.
It already has off-site parking, water and sewer. Be a good project for Ed to take on.
Wondering where you're going with that one.
Saw that one coming.
Yeah. So anyway,
One of the problems that happens with this, suddenly the town group of people, whatever, are faced with this and say, let's run with that. Let's see if we can do it. But the buyer wants to sell.
Yeah.
The buyer doesn't want to wait for you to get
mhm.
grants or,
Yeah.
or
Is that that's a historic building too, though?
Huh?
Is that a historic building too? The Dunsville School?
it could qualify.
It was moved from the
It's
edge
not
of
hard.
the flood
Hmm.
area, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you could apply for it, it's not hard to do, to apply for a
Is that
historic
better or worse when
renovation.
you're trying to build?
Well, if you're doing like a renovation, you could get his tax
A
credits,
lot of
there's
grants and stuff like
non-competitive,
that.
But if you're
Non-
redesigning it
competitive
for
20% if you do like a historic renovation.
Mhm.
They're gonna want you to keep the original features, but you could do turn it into 4
Interior.
units.
It's been renovated a lot.
Okay, and then, there's also $50,000 per unit for a 2-bedroom unit from the state of Vermont, which is a competitive incentive, that you could apply for.
Hearing all this?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
the
You gotta
land,
have to,
This is
yeah.
weird.
this is so off topic, but is the land that house sitting on the town's? Or does it
That and so.
belong with?
I don't believe so.
No. We would belong to Dan.
Well, I
Good
knew
sized truck.
I knew we used to
Property
plow
there.
the driveway.
Yeah.
Right, well, that is a town road,
Okay,
up to the fence.
gotcha.
That is a town road up to the fence.
Oh, look, it's looking better every second.
You want?
Okay, anything else on that? Any old business, new
Yeah.
business?
Yes, the whole business.
Yes.
The subdivision regulations passed. We know that.
Mhm.
But I've heard that there's petitions circulating to bring it up for a revote. Is that actually true or not? And it's going past the time that you can do it because
I've
it's,
heard that, but yeah, we got a day or two. It's 30 days.
Yeah.
After the vote of March 3rd.
yeah, so it's coming right up and then it's history.
Is there any explanation or anything more about who is petitioning, do you have
No,
to
I
get a
don't
lot
really
of
have any
signatures? Yeah.
idea if there's
Reasoning
really a
behind it.
petition out there or not. I just,
We don't know much more about it?
no. I don't know if there's one out there. I assume there might have been, but I've never seen one. But anyway, we're down to the wire.
Was there any
And
specifics
it's
to
Good
subdivision
Friday on
requirements that
Friday.
were
Was there
know,
something
spoken
specific?
against? Then
I haven't heard anything.
nothing specific? I didn't hear
No
anything
one
either.
said anything to me.
So,
Do you, are you
about
aware?
the subdivision
petition?
rates after they
no.
passed.
Any specific regulation anybody
heard.
really had a issue with?
no,
I wasn't here during the vote, but I did vote.
What did we do, Rick? We have, our first subdivision
We
application.
will have one coming up. Somebody came in the other day to give us all their water and state permits for water and wastewater. It was after the deadline, so I sent them the application and the fee schedule. I do have it set up now in a contract with Mark as the administrating officer as well. So I haven't received the application, but I've emailed it to him.
Mhm.
I talked to him before that and say that it's likely that you might need to go through the process, so they know it.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah, it's
haven't received
4
it.
lots, I guess. So
I
that'd be
can't say for sure.
Yeah.
Was it 5?
5, so that's a major,
where's this?
I don't know.
I mean, they've done a lot of the work already. I believe
Yeah.
it's been anything that you would ask for, I think they've already done
Mhm.
as part of this. But it would still need to go through, the review process.
Mhm. Okay, well, good.
Are any of the Act 181 regulations the same as the subdivision that we did, or do they overlap at all? Do you know?
They might overlap, but.
Then in the 181 would take precedence. They would.
Well, if it's more than 5 lots, they have to go through Act 250, but they'd still have to get a subdivision. They'd still have to apply for a subdivision permit through the town. So, but it's, 6 lots or more, right? Yeah. Yep. So, okay, I don't have any other, unless anybody else has anything else? Okay, motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.